Most people don't fail because they lack talent or resources. They fail because they lack confidence. They get stuck in doubt, fear, and self-criticism, like driving with the handbrake on. Think of your mind as a garden. Plant doubt, and doubt grows. Plant self-compassion and determination, and confidence blooms. Your past or environment doesn't decide your growth. You can start planting new seeds today. Self-confidence isn't a motivational quote. It's a daily habit, trained and reinforced until it becomes automatic. In this video, you'll learn practical strategies to program your mind, take action, and unlock your potential starting now. We will work on key contrasts: self-love versus destructive self-criticism, decisive action versus analysis paralysis, emotional independence versus toxic dependence. These contrasts will help you see where you are now and what small shifts you need to make to move toward your best version. Belief in yourself is not a luxury reserved for a few. It's a strategic decision that changes your performance and your quality of life. Understand this. Every time you choose a thought, you choose a direction for your life. It may sound extreme, but it's true. Your thoughts become emotions, your emotions become decisions, and your decisions become results. Confidence is more than just a pleasant feeling. It's the root of every productive action and every lasting achievement. You cannot control the market, politics, or circumstances, but you can control the story you tell yourself and how you interpret what happens to you. It doesn't matter how many times you failed or how many people have told you that you can't. What matters is what you choose to believe from now on. Think of your mind like software. If you install outdated programs, you will get slow results and constant errors. But if you install new, updated, optimized beliefs, your system works better, and you are the programmer. You can't wait for someone else to do it for you. It's your responsibility and your opportunity. The fascinating thing is that when you change your inner dialogue, your body language changes too. You walk differently, you speak differently, you make decisions with more clarity, and people notice. Opportunities start to appear because you have become someone who acts with confidence and presents yourself that way. It's like going from broadcasting static to sending a clear signal. Others feel that frequency and respond to it. Before we continue with concrete steps, I want you to do something powerful. Go to the comments and write the phrase, "Today I choose to believe in myself." Without excuses. This is not just a comment. It's your first public declaration of commitment. By writing it, you are planting this idea inside yourself and activating a new way of seeing yourself. That phrase is the key that opens the door to everything that follows in this video. Believing in yourself is not the same as arrogance or vanity. It is an act of deep honesty with your own potential. It's recognizing the real value you already have, even when no one else sees it. Many people confuse confidence with arrogance, and for fear of seeming proud, sabotage themselves. True confidence is not shouted or imposed. It's felt in the way you carry yourself and in the calmness with which you make decisions. It is the silent foundation upon which you build everything else in your life. The doubts you carry today were not born with you. No baby arrives believing they are incapable or unworthy. These beliefs were installed slowly through messages, gestures, comments, and experiences that shaped your perception. Parents, teachers, bosses, friends, the whole society leaves marks on your mind. Some of these were positive and pushed you forward, but others planted fear, guilt, or a sense of not being enough. Understanding this is liberating because it means that if these ideas entered your mind, they can also leave. When you realize that many of your insecurities are learned, you see that they are not your identity. They are just files stored in your subconscious memory. And just like an operating system can be updated, you can choose which programs to keep running and which to uninstall. This simple shift in perspective is already an act of power. You move from feeling like a victim of your story to becoming the conscious editor of your inner narrative. A practical way to start is by observing your automatic thoughts. What do you tell yourself when you face a challenge? What phrases do you repeat when you make a mistake? These phrases are clues to the beliefs you have stored. If you discover that they are inherited phrases like, "I'm not enough, I'm unlucky, I can't," don't take them as absolute truths. Take them as old recordings that you can delete and rewrite. Remember this, your thoughts are not commands, they are options. Every idea that pops into your mind is just a suggestion. You have the final word on whether to accept it or discard it. Most people live reacting to their thoughts as if they were unchangeable decrees, but when you understand that they are suggestions, you regain control. This is the difference between living on autopilot and living with purpose. To replace inherited beliefs, you need awareness and repetition. Awareness to notice them, and repetition to install new ones. Imagine your mind as a neglected garden. First, you pull out the weeds, your limiting thoughts, and then you plant new seeds, thoughts of power. Planting once is not enough. You must water them every day. This is how new neural patterns are formed. This is how true confidence is built. In this process, it is vital to ask yourself, whose voice am I hearing in my head? Many times when we criticize ourselves harshly, we are just repeating the words of someone from our past. When you recognize this, that voice loses its power. It is no longer an inner judge, it becomes just an echo, and an echo fades when you stop feeding it with attention. By doing this, you make space for your real voice, the one that believes in you, the one that wants to see you move forward. Believing in yourself is ultimately an act of personal responsibility. You cannot control what you were taught, but you can control what you choose to believe from now on. Every time you choose a thought of confidence instead of doubt, you take a step toward mental freedom. This is a daily training that transforms your posture, your actions, and your results. And that is the first step to consciously forcing yourself to believe in yourself. When you look in the mirror each morning, you are not just seeing a physical reflection, you are looking at the external representation of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional state. The mirror is a silent reminder of who you have decided to be so far. How you look at yourself says a lot about your relationship with yourself. If your inner dialogue is full of criticism, you will inevitably see flaws. If your dialogue is respectful, you begin to see possibilities and resources in your own image. The mirror works like an emotional thermometer. If you approach it in a rush and without really looking, you are probably avoiding something deeper. But if you take a moment to observe yourself consciously, you start connecting with your true identity. This simple practice demonstrates a powerful principle. How you perceive yourself in the morning sets the script you will follow for the rest of the day. Negative self-talk creates a closed posture and low energy. Positive self-talk awakens openness and confidence. The reflection you see is not static, it is a stage under construction. Every habit, thought, and decision leaves its mark on your face and posture. That is why training your mind to speak to you with respect and firmness has an immediate impact on your body. When you say, "I am capable," your muscles relax, your shoulders straighten, and your expression brightens. This is not magic, it is biology. The brain responds to words as if they were instructions, and the body executes the program. Imagine this. Every morning, the mirror is a stage, and you are both the actor and the director. What script do you want to rehearse before stepping into the world? If you repeat the lines of self-criticism, you will act insecure. If you repeat lines of strength, you will act as your best version. This metaphor shows that you are not doomed to always see yourself the same way. You can rewrite the script before each daily performance. Trying this is simple but powerful. Look at yourself, smile, and say a positive affirmation out loud. At first, it may feel awkward or unnecessary, but with repetition, it becomes an emotional anchor. Every time you speak a positive phrase in front of the mirror, you reinforce neural connections linked to confidence and self-esteem. Over time, your mind starts to believe what your mouth says, and your body reflects it in gestures, tone of voice, and attitude. This habit, though small, is one of the most effective in personal leadership. It is not about vanity or superficiality. It is about internal alignment. When your words, posture, and image are consistent, you send a clear message to the world. I respect myself, I am prepared, I am ready. That consistency opens doors that inconsistency closes because people trust someone who looks confident and grounded. The mirror also gives immediate feedback. If one day you look and see tiredness, apathy, or disconnection, instead of ignoring it, ask yourself, what thought am I feeding that makes me feel this way? That question returns your power. You don't need to punish yourself for looking different. You just need to adjust your inner dialogue and your external habits to regain your energy. This is a daily exercise in self leadership that transforms your perception and therefore your results. Every time you look in the mirror, remember this. You are not just seeing your appearance, you are seeing your identity under construction. You can choose to be your harshest critic or your most faithful coach. If you choose the latter, every glance becomes a moment of mental programming. These seconds, accumulated day after day, shape not only how you see yourself, but how you feel and act in the world. That is the real power of the mirror as a metaphor for your identity. Confidence is not a gift that arrives when everything is perfect. It is a direct result of acting even when you don't feel ready. Waiting to feel prepared is a mental trap. In reality, action creates preparation. Every step, even a small one, shows yourself that you are capable. It is like starting a cold engine. At first it's hard, but once it's running, movement becomes natural. Every time you procrastinate, you feed doubt. Procrastination is fertilizer for fear and insecurity. Your mind begins to associate your goal with discomfort and threat, and it becomes harder to take the first step. But every time you decide to act, even without having everything ready, you strengthen your belief in yourself. Action is the natural antidote to emotional and mental paralysis. Most people believe that confidence is a prerequisite for action, when in reality, it is the result of action. Just like a muscle grows with use, self-confidence grows with practice. That is why the next time you feel fear, don't wait for it to disappear. Move with the fear. You will discover that fear decreases in the same proportion as your activity increases. Imagine your goals as a building. Every small action is a brick you place in that structure. Maybe today you can only place one brick, but tomorrow you will place two, and by the end of the week you will have a solid foundation where before there was only a plan. This vision helps you understand that no action is insignificant if it is aligned with your purpose. Small actions added together become big. Make a list of 3 small actions you can take today to move closer to your goal. They don't need to be spectacular or complex. It could be a phone call, reading a chapter of a book, sending an email, or practicing a skill for 15 minutes. The important thing is to do them. Each completed task is a vote for your identity as a proactive and confident person. The contrast is clear. When you stay still, waiting for motivation to come, life feels heavier and problems grow. But when you take a step, even when you don't feel like it, the energy changes. Action generates clarity, and clarity generates new opportunities. This is not theory. I have seen it in thousands of people around the world. The difference between those who move forward and those who stay behind is not talent. It is the habit of taking action. Furthermore, acting even in small steps moves you out of victim mode and into creator mode. Paralysis tells you, I can't. Action tells you, I am on my way. This difference in your inner dialogue changes your posture, your tone of voice, and how others perceive you. People trust those who take action, not those who wait. Always remember this. Confidence is built by doing. If you take a step today, even a small one, tomorrow your belief in yourself will be stronger. And every step you take sends a silent message to your mind. I can, I choose, I move forward. This is how you turn doubt into strength and insecurity into momentum. This is the essence of breaking paralysis and becoming someone who acts with determination. When you watch great athletes, you'll notice they don't just train their bodies, they train their minds every day. Before competing, they close their eyes and see themselves winning, crossing the finish line, making the perfect play. This practice isn't an empty ritual, it's a proven way to program their nervous system and confidence. You can do the same with your personal and professional goals. Visualization isn't daydreaming. It's mentally rehearsing success to execute it in reality. The mind cannot clearly distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you repeat a powerful image, your brain forms the same neural connections as if you were living it. That's why just 5 minutes of focused visualization a day can have a deeper impact than hours of scattered thinking. Every visualization session is like invisible training that strengthens your self-confidence and clarity of direction. When you close your eyes to practice, Don't just see the scene. Feel it. Notice how you look, how you breathe, what sensations move through your body. Hear the sounds, smell the environment, feel the textures of the situation. The richer the sensory experience you build in your mind, the more powerful the map you create in your subconscious. It's like giving your mind an emotional GPS to guide you even in moments of doubt. By repeating this image, you create a mental map. That map becomes an anchor that guides you when things don't go as planned. Instead of getting lost in confusion, your mind remembers the direction and gets back on track. It's like a pilot who knows the route even through turbulence. That clarity gives you calm and confidence, two essential ingredients for acting effectively. The contrast is clear. Someone without visualization is like a ship without a compass, drifting and carried by currents. Someone who practices daily visualization moves with purpose. Even when obstacles appear, their focus doesn't waver. That's the difference between those who get stuck and those who reach their goals with determination. 5 minutes of visualization a day is enough to start. You don't need complicated rituals or hours of meditation. What matters is consistency and the quality of the image you create. If each day you see yourself achieving your goal, your subconscious will start to notice and seek opportunities that bring you closer to that vision. What once went unnoticed will now stand out. You can also combine visualization with present tense affirmations. For example, while imagining your goal achieved, repeat phrases like, I am capable, I achieve, my mind is focused. These words are the verbal fuel for your mental image. Together, they form a powerful combination that reprograms your identity and pushes you to act in alignment with this new version of yourself. Remember, training your mind is as important as training your body. Just as a muscle needs repetition to grow stronger, your self-confidence needs daily practice to expand. Each time you visualize your success, you remove layers of doubt and build layers of certainty. This is the essence of mental training, preparing your mind to win before stepping onto life's playing field. One of the biggest obstacles to believing in yourself is living behind masks. When you constantly try to please, fit in, or appear as someone you are not, you send a silent message to your subconscious. My true self is not enough. This message is devastating to self-esteem. Every time you act against what you feel or think because of fear of rejection, you weaken your inner confidence, even if it seems easier at the moment. Masks may bring short-term acceptance, but in the long run, they create emptiness. It's like wearing a costume to get a quick applause, but ending up feeling unrecognized. Masks drain your emotional energy and force you to maintain a role that isn't yours. That internal tension is one of the most common causes of anxiety and low self-worth. Choosing authenticity is an act of courage. It doesn't mean being rebellious or confrontational. It means acting in alignment with your values and needs. Every time you express a sincere opinion, every time you say no to something that doesn't fit you, you reaffirm to your mind that your voice matters. Repeated consistency builds a strong internal core that doesn't depend on external approval. Think of authenticity as a muscle. If you never exercise it, it atrophies. But if you choose every day, even in small ways, to show yourself as you are, that muscle strengthens. It can be something as simple as dressing the way you like, changing how you present yourself, or sharing a personal thought in a meeting. Each small, authentic act is a micro-training of your self-confidence. When you practice authenticity, you'll notice a deep change in your energy. You won't waste emotional resources maintaining a character. That freedom gives you new strength to pursue your goals. People may approve or not, but you know you are aligned with yourself. That internal alignment is one of the most powerful accelerators of genuine self-confidence. The contrast is clear. Masks promise quick acceptance but take away your essence. Authenticity may bring initial discomfort, but it restores your personal power. In the realm of self-esteem, there are no shortcuts. Either you pay the price of a false self or invest in building a true self. An investment in authenticity always pays higher dividends. Moreover, being authentic inspires trust in others. People perceive congruence. They know, even if they don't say it, who acts from truth and who acts from a mask. Being authentic not only makes you feel better, it also attracts healthier relationships, better aligned opportunities, and an environment where you can grow without struggling to pretend. Remember, authenticity is not achieved overnight. It is trained. Every time you choose to be true to yourself, you are telling your mind, I am worthy as I am. That repeated, lived message is the foundation for believing in yourself strongly. When you leave the mask behind and show up as you are, your self-confidence doesn't just improve, it soars, because you are finally building your life on solid ground, not fragile facades. Just as no one questions the importance of good nutrition for a healthy body, very few stop to realize that the mind also needs proper nourishment. Every news story you consume, every conversation you participate in, every image you see on social media is mental food. If you feed your mind emotional garbage every day, it weakens and your confidence deteriorates. The first key to self-confidence is controlling what you allow into your inner world. Think of your mind as a garden. If you constantly throw garbage, weeds, and harmful chemicals into it, that garden cannot flourish. But if you water it with clean water, sunlight, and nutrients, flowers will inevitably grow. The same goes for your thoughts and beliefs. You cannot expect optimism, security, and clarity if you are planting fear, complaints, and despair in your mental system every day. I propose a powerful challenge: 30 days of a positive mental diet. During this month, you will be a careful guardian of your mental intake. You will choose carefully what you read, watch, who you speak with, and what you pay attention to. This is not about living in a bubble or denying reality. It is about strengthening your mind first so that you can face reality from a position of power, not weakness. Through this process, you will discover how many sources of mental pollution you had normalized. News channels focused only on crises, social media filled with drama, or friends who constantly complain. By consciously choosing your consumption, you realize you have power, and this daily choice is an act of self-respect. You are saying, my peace of mind is more valuable than this dose of negativity. Replacing toxic content with inspiring information and uplifting people will bring subtle but deep changes. Your inner dialogue becomes kinder, your energy more stable, and your vision of the future more optimistic. You will no longer be dragged by the current of collective complaints. You will set the tone for your day. This sense of control is one of the strongest pillars of self-confidence. Understand that a positive mental diet is not superficial motivation. It is psychological hygiene. Just as you don't let spoiled food enter your body, you shouldn't allow toxic messages into your mind without filtering. Practicing this habit builds mental strength that keeps you firm even when external circumstances are tough. The contrast is clear. If you feed on fear-driven news, your worldview shrinks. If you nourish yourself with inspiring ideas and examples, your perspective expands. One paralyzes, the other mobilizes. One drains, the other energizes. Every day you practice this diet reinforces the internal message that you deserve to think and feel big, that you have the right to protect your peace of mind. At the end of 30 days of discipline, not only will your thinking be clearer, stronger, and more optimistic, you will have reprogrammed your mind to automatically recognize what adds value and what subtracts from it. From that state, believing in yourself won't require effort. It will be your natural state. When you stop poisoning your mind, your true inner strength emerges more powerfully than ever. Believing in yourself is a process, not a moment. It is waking up every day and choosing thoughts that build you instead of destroying you. It is looking in the mirror and deciding, today I will be my ally, not my enemy. That repeated decision creates a powerful identity that no one can take away. Don't wait for everything to be perfect to start. Start now with what you have where you are. Every directed thought is a brick in your new life. Every small action is a declaration that you take yourself seriously. Remember, your external life is a reflection of your inner world. If you feed your mind with faith, hope, and discipline, that will be reflected in your results. It's not magic, it's cause and effect. What you plant inside multiplies outside. So today, I invite you to take that first step. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say out loud, I believe in myself and I act accordingly. Write it in the comments to make it public. Do it for yourself. Do it to start training your mind right now. Ask yourself, what has held me back most until now, my real limitations or my limiting thoughts? Yeah,